Welcome back to another episode of Bears Talk today. And Mike,
It
feels good. I have 3 words for you. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Or like cry, Eagles, cry.
There we go.
That's all they were doing after Black Friday. That's all they were doing after Black Friday. How about the Bears, Justin?
Yes. Going into this game, I think we were all a little nervous. You know, they're playing the Super Bowl champs. Windy conditions. The Eagles were at home. You know, the Eagles lost a terrible game to the Cowboys, but it didn't matter.
Well, some of us were nervous, Justin.
Right. I'm sorry. I'll admit I was a little nervous going into it.
Not all of us were nervous. Alex, if you could go ahead and play the clip real quick. So call me insane. I'm taking the Bears, baby.
What?
They're going to walk into Philly, and they're going to kick Rocky Balboa, his team, in the butt, okay? We're going to go into Philly. We're taking on Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I don't care. I don't care if they throw out Donovan McNabb out there. I don't care who the Eagles play. Caleb Williams is the guy. Ben Johnson is the guy. I'm completely bought in. This game against the Steelers did it for me. I'm keeping my perfect record. I'm keeping my record on the line here, Justin.
Okay.
I've had a perfect season so far.
You have.
My reputation is on the line.
It is.
Give me the Bears to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you, the Bears are going to win this game. I don't know how. I don't know if it's probably going to be like a game-winning safety or something. I don't know what the Bears are going to do. They are going to win this game. They're going to move to 9-3. Put it in stone. Bet the mortgage on it. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Chicago's taking this one. I'm coming out. I'm being bold. I am completely abandoning all logic and reasoning. They got me. I'm back. I'm bought in. Bears are winning this one. Justin, you should have bet the mortgage on it. I tried to tell everybody. I had to put a disclaimer, but I was very confident the Bears were going to come out and win this game. They were underdogs, like you said, by 7 points. They were in the champ's house. We were in Philly.
Yeah.
And I guess one thing that this proves for the Eagles is that it's not always sunny in Philadelphia, Justin.
No, it is not.
It's not always sunny, especially not when you play the Bears.
It's actually very windy and cold and not great.
Yeah. This is, in my opinion, Justin, the biggest Bears win since they beat the Rams in 2018. Remember that Sunday night game?
Yeah.
That game was in Chicago. That was a home game. That game was in Chicago.
Yep.
I might argue that this game is even bigger.
Yeah.
This to me has, we talked about it last week. Everybody's like, oh, you beat the Raiders, you beat the Commanders, you beat blah, blah, blah. You beat the Steelers without Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
How about the defending champs?
With no injuries, like barely.
Yeah, exactly.
They had Saquon, they had Devontae Smith, they had A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown had a great game, but it really wasn't enough. He was really the only person on the Eagles offense that was really scoring and making a difference.
Exactly. And, for the Bears, you want to talk about injuries. Who do we have at linebacker? It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
The Bears are totally depleted with their defense right now. I mean, even some of the guys, they just got Jalen Johnson back. They just got Kyler Gordon back.
Yeah.
They're down their top 4 linebackers. So to walk into Philadelphia, and my prediction, I said I thought this would be a close game.
I thought so too.
Maybe game-winning safety. That was a bit ambitious. This game was dominated by the Bears from the first whistle to the last whistle.
Yeah.
This was not a fluky, they got a punt return touchdown. Oh, they had a scoop and score or whatever.
Yeah.
This was a complete and utter domination from the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, I'm beaming. I'm beaming with optimism. This is the best Bears win, like I said, in at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, no, Mike, and I've said this before on previous episodes. This was a statement win. You had to go out there and really show, the rest of the NFL that, hey, we can beat actual playoff teams, right? A lot of trolls are on social media saying the Bears aren't legit, or the Bears are only beating, teams with backup quarterbacks, and honestly, the talent is so good in the NFL that anybody can lose. And, we were discussing off camera. I think both divisions, the NFC and the AFC, are completely wide open this year.
Agree.
You're not seeing the Chiefs be as dominant. You're not seeing, you're really not even seeing, the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens be as dominant. We just saw yesterday the Rams losing to the Carolina Panthers, right? So anything's possible.
Well, and the number 1 seed in the AFC right now is the Denver Broncos.
Crazy.
They just got took into overtime by Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree with you. It's so wide open. This is what's great about the NFL is the parity. It's not supposed to be the Chiefs winning or the Patriots winning the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
Even though the Patriots are
really
now
good this year.
They're good again. But it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be new teams and new coaches and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's great. Speaking of any team can win, how about the Panthers winning yesterday?
Crazy.
Giving the Bears the number 1 seed of the NFC, beating the Los Angeles Rams. But I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, Justin. We have a lot to talk about with this game.
Yes, we do.
A lot to break down. First and foremost, the number 1 reason the Bears won this game, Justin, was their rushing attack.
Yeah.
40 carries for 255 yards for Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift. That is a phenomenal game. In total, the Bears ran 47 times for 281 yards. I mean, you want to talk about just smash mouth football in the cold, in Philly.
Yeah.
It's your guys versus our guys. I mean, Ben Johnson, he's coming from Detroit where they ran the ball so well. And skeptics said, well, it's hard not to run the ball well when you have Jahmyr Gibbs and you have Dave Montgomery and you have that offensive line, which is true.
Yeah.
They had some great personnel.
They did.
But Ben Johnson is proving that his philosophy, his play calling, his scheming can be translatable to another team.
Yeah.
The Bears continually had, I think, very well schemed up, very well designed runs that put the running backs in great position. They had linemen getting to the second level, blocking linebackers. And again, what coach in the modern NFL where it's just pass, what coach is going to say, yeah, let's run the ball 47 times?
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy, dude.
It was having success. They averaged 6 yards a carry. This running game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So like every time they hand the ball off, it was at least 5 yards. So I want to give and I've been critical of the running game earlier in the year. I knew that was something that Ben Johnson was going to want to improve.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we had the talent at running back, even though I did like Monangai. This was one of the best rushing performances of my life. They said on the broadcast, but this is the first time 2 Bears running backs had 100 yards or more in a single game since 1985. When you start drawing parallels to the 85 Bears, you're doing something right. So
you are.
Obviously the rushing game was phenomenal. Justin, what else stood out to you about this game?
Man, I think the biggest one, we talk about the rushing game, but how about stopping the tush push? I don't even know what other team has stopped it ever, if there ever has been a team that, has been able to stop it. But we weren't able to not only stop it, but we got a fumble out of it, which really changed the course of the entire game. And I know we talked about our rushing. I want to give credit to our defense. We were depleted, and they could have literally ran all over us, and scored easily. But I think it was just a pure hustle and determination. And give credit to Dennis Allen. Like, these guys are like coming out here and being, doesn't matter who they play or what names are out there, they are able to stop and slow them down. Like I said, the Eagles have such a good offense. You're not going to be able to slow down all three. But I mean, to be able to contain Saquon, to be able to contain Devontae Smith, hey, that's 2 out of the 3. That's still pretty good. I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. And the offense that the Eagles had wasn't necessarily like long sustained drives where they were gashing us. The biggest play they had was the 50-50 ball they threw to A.J. Brown. Which, credit to him, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. He made a great adjustment on the ball, caught it in midair.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'll just happen. Talent will just win. But I didn't think at any point in this game that the Eagles outcoached the Bears on that side of the ball. I didn't think that they out-schemed the Bears. I didn't think that the talent was too much for the Bears to handle.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen, like you said, had the boys prepared.
Yeah.
They were ready to go. And they had a great plan. Again, you held Saquon to 56 yards. The guy who ran for 2,000 last year with no linebackers. That's incredible. Again, A.J. Brown had a great day statistically, but otherwise, Devontae Smith had 48 yards. Goddard had 27 yards. They did not have really an efficient game on offense. Jalen Hurts was pedestrian, I would say.
Yeah.
And one of the things, you talked about this too with the tush push, one of the big things that was going into this game was the Bears take the ball away and the Eagles don't give the ball away. What side was going to win? The Bears won. They got an interception and they forced a fumble on the tush push. So the Bears defense, we've said this throughout the year, they're not really a good defense, but they're opportunistic. They turn the ball over. They give the offense extra possessions, and that's the formula that wins in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, when we get some of our guys back, we'll be probably stingier. But the theme of the Bears defense all year is they take the ball away. They intercept the ball.
Yeah.
Kevin Byard went into the game leading the NFL in interceptions, and he got another one.
Yep.
So very, very opportunistic. That just, to me, tells me that they're coached well. Their personnel is not too much different from last year, really. But they're coached well. They're taking advantage of the football. They're capitalizing on mistakes. And when you run the ball like that, Justin, that's the formula for success right there.
Yeah.
That's how you win games in December, January, in Chicago, in Green Bay, and Philly, and whatever these cold cities are going to be. That's how you win those games.
Yeah, and I mean, when you looked at that game overall, Mike, it just seemed like we talked about before, it was from the beginning to the end just straight domination. And I think when you are able to come into an opponent's, when you're able to steal a game on the road, that's great. But when it's the Super Bowl champs, the title, the best team, in the NFC, or really one of the top teams in the NFL, and you beat them single-handedly, there wasn't a fluke win. It wasn't they got a random last-second fumble. It wasn't even a close win. I think for me, that is what made it even better. And I think just, overall, when you look at this season, this is one of the like you said, the biggest wins that we've ever had. And I think it was definitely needed at this time, as the next couple of games going into the end of the season is going to be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll before we, advance off this game, a couple more things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Caleb Williams, right? You look at the stats, 17 of 36, 154 yards, touchdown and a pick. They don't jump off the page.
No.
To me, his performance is, like I said a couple weeks ago, better than what was on the stat sheet. It was windy and cold out there. It makes it hard for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's a couple plays where, guys were – you notice the one where, like, Luther Burden fell down and DJ Moore dropped the ball, whatever. A couple plays like that. But I want to highlight a couple things with Caleb. Number one, his scramble ability. Kept a couple plays alive, got a couple first downs. And the throw he made to Cole Kmet.
That was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And it reminds you that, yes, I think he's still going through some of the growing pains of being a young quarterback, especially adapting to a new system. He's been a little inaccurate, yes. But throws like that remind you, hey, this guy's really good.
He's our franchise
QB. When he nails down being consistently accurate and playing within the offense, it's his first year in the offense. This is his first 12 games in the offense, and he's won 9 of them, right? So when Caleb is going to be, just keep getting better and better and better, those type of throws are what separates him from Jared Goff, right, who Ben Johnson just had in Detroit. So, I mean, I was so encouraged. That throw to Kmet was perfect. It was beautiful. He was rolling out, twisted his body. He kind of pump faked the first one and threw it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And when you combine the way the Bears are coached, the way their defense is taking the ball away, the way they're running the ball, you add that special element from your quarterback, oh, my gosh. I mean, sky's the limit, right? Sky really is the limit. So this, again, in my opinion, like we've been saying, was the biggest Bears win in a long time. Justin, you actually put something very interesting in our notes, which I was just thinking about mentioning. The last time the Bears were 9-3 was 2010. There was the Lovie Smith Bears with Jay Cutler as their quarterback. 2010, ironically, was also the last year that the Bears won a playoff game. It's been 15 years.
15 long years.
15 very long years. 15 very long years. So I guess I want to kind of say, is this the Bears team that is going to break that playoff curse? Because obviously the 2018 team and the 2020 team went to the playoffs.
Yeah. I forgot about 2020. Good Lord.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. Double doink, and then the Bears, they just got their butts kicked by the Saints in that 2020 game.
Yeah.
So is this, you think, the Bears team finally? Because now the playoff chances for the Bears are it was 35% a couple weeks ago. Then it was 40. Now it's 60. And I think it's in the high 70s, maybe low 80s.
Yeah.
So the likelihood is that the Bears will be going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
This was a
76% according to the NFL.
This was huge. The other thing that's huge about this is that it gives them a seeding tiebreaker over the Eagles, who are going to win their division. We know that. We know the Cowboys aren't going to catch up. So if they have the same record, we'll have that tiebreaker. So do you think that this is going to be the first Bears team since 2010 to kind of find some success in the playoffs?
Honestly, I think so. I think when you look at this team, it's one of the more talented teams that we've had on offense in the past couple of years. When you look at 2018, even really 2020, the offense wasn't really standing out. It was kind of like our defense carried us most of the season. And when you look at this team and their ability to score, when Caleb is able to throw those, crazy, scrambling throws, or throw, a deep ball to DJ Moore or Roma Dudze or Luther Burden, that's something that we haven't seen before from our offense in previous seasons. So, and, defense does win championships, but you have to score points in order to win.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at this team, even before our win against the Eagles last Friday, I was feeling pretty confident against it didn't matter who we faced. I knew that we had a chance to be in there. And I think the the X factor and the thing that Ben Johnson has figured out is what you said earlier, the run game. You know, if we have a really, really good run game, if we get Monangai and Swift going, and we have, you know, a couple of good, like Caleb Williams, if our rushing game is great, Caleb Williams doesn't have to go out there and throw for 400 yards, right? He can make the right plays, be decent, be okay, let the rushing, you know, do his job. But that's kind of like the threat. You don't know if we're going to have a good throwing game or a good rushing game.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the playoffs, right, Ben Johnson has been instilling confidence to this team pretty much since week 1. You know, starting off 0-2, things were looking a little rough. No one really knew, you know, what the Bears might be, and they just accelerated.
They won 9 of the next 10 games.
Which is insane. And like I said, to answer your question, I think we can definitely get a playoff win. You know, I can see us going to the divisional. You know, I think it just really depends on, you know, if we face an LA or, you know, the Eagles. I think, you know, can we beat them again? I'm going to say yeah, but I also know that, like, you know, for us right now, I think we can say for both of us, like, we've definitely way overexceeded expectations for this season. I think, you know, definitely the playoffs were something that we were both wanting, but to be first in the NFC, you know, in week 14 is just, that's unexpected. I didn't expect to get here, I'll be honest, and I'm, you know, like I said, I think for me, I think our magic number, you know, I think before we said it was, I think it was what, 10?
Yeah.
I think if we get 11 to 12, we'll be okay. I'm not expecting us to, as long as we're in the top 4, you know, at the end of the season, I think we have a good chance because obviously it'd be great to get the 1 seed. You know, we have that bye and we could potentially face, you know, maybe even the Seahawks too, depending on where they land. But let's just get in the top 4. That I think if we get in the top 4, we're at least guaranteed 1 win. If we do slip into the bottom, you know, 5, 6, 7, I think it's definitely going to be a little bit trickier because we're going to be facing, you know, a harder team.
I think winning the division is huge. And Alex, you can go ahead and throw up the playoff graphic if you don't mind. Right now, the Bears sit number 1 in the seeding, okay? That would mean we have a first-round bye. I think it's a bit unrealistic to say that the Bears are going to end the season with the number 1 seed, but hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you never know.
I think the most likely outcome for the Bears and the outcome I hope happens is that they ended up having either the 2 or the 3 seed.
Yeah.
That would mean that they're hosting a playoff game, right? And you look at the playoff teams right now, Seattle, Green Bay, San Francisco. I think that San Francisco game, well, you look at Green Bay, we play Green Bay 2 of the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Then after that, we play San Francisco. I think we're going to know very quickly with these next few games, and we talked about the gauntlet of our season, right?
Yeah.
How we stack up against potential playoff teams. If the 49ers, located in San Francisco, California, have to come to Chicago in the middle of January, I like that for the Bears.
Me too.
Now, Green Bay, obviously, they are used to the cold. They play in the cold as well.
Yep.
Seattle, again, another West Coast team having to come into Chicago, excuse me. But I think it'll be very interesting for the Bears to see where they line up. I think the advantage of playing in Chicago, it plays into their strength of running the football, taking the football away. You know, I think that it's so important for the Bears to win this division. Maybe they're not the number 1 seed, but they're the 2 or the 3 seed.
Yeah.
They probably would be seeded higher than Tampa and host a playoff game. I think it's so important. Soldier Field would be absolutely ruckus. They'd be packed. Bears fans would be flying in from every corner of the globe. So I think it's important for the Bears to do that. Now, in order to do that, Justin, they got to take care of business the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Like, the season is at an apex right now, but it is not over. And I think that's very important to remember. They have multiple games left. They have 5 games left, okay? And we said before the season started, the magic number is 10. You got to get to 10 to probably make the playoffs. You get into 11, you're making the playoffs. And from what we have said and what we believe, even before the season, we believe that the Browns are a automatic win.
They should be.
So that tells me that Browns are our 10th win.
Yeah.
Or win number 10 if we're just counting it out.
Yeah.
You have to win one of Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit. You got to win. Now you got to win one of those 4 games. That's much more doable.
That is
much more doable. So, again, you can't take anybody for granted. You know, I know the San Francisco 49ers absolutely destroyed the Browns a couple weeks ago, or I'm sorry, this past Sunday. But obviously, you can't, like you said, any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about our game next week, though. Big big game.
Big game.
Big game. We're going to Green Bay. We're taking on the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Justin, let's keep it a buck here.
Keep it a buck.
The Packers have owned us.
They have.
And they've especially owned us at Lambeau.
Mm-hmm.
This game's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold. I just looked up the weather. It's supposed to be 15 degrees at kickoff. It's not going to be a fun environment.
No.
Green Bay's ready for this game. If Green Bay wins, they are the number 1 seed in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
This game has a lot of pressure on it. This is the most meaningful Bears-Packers game in a long time.
Yeah.
Since probably 2013?
Yep.
The year that the Packers got the 4th and 2 to Randall Cobb. I can't even talk about it. But this is the most impactful Bears-Packers game in a long time.
Yeah.
A lot riding on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Game's in Lambeau. Bears are coming off a great victory. Packers are also coming off a great victory where Jordan Love looked great against the Lions. Threw 4 touchdowns on Thanksgiving. Talk to me, Justin, about this game. What are some of the key matchups? What do the Bears have to do? Just take me through kind of a preview of this game, which is going to be one of the games of the year for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Mike. I think it's simple. That same playbook we used against the Eagles. Be aggressive, especially coming out the first quarter. Right. We know what this Packers team is about. They actually had a really good win against their divisional rival. As well against the Lions. They destroyed them, which was shocking. I thought the Lions would have been able to, split that lead for us. But overall, my biggest thing is we have to come out early. We have to be able to, whether if it's through our rushing game or through our passing game, it's going to be very experimental, right? There is a very big addition that they signed over the offseason, Micah Parsons, that we also have to worry about, right? Mm-hmm. I think for me, the biggest X factor is our offensive line. Can we be able to give Caleb enough time to throw the ball? Can we give Caleb enough time to, can we give our dual running back threat and Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift enough time to be able to create those gaps in the pocket to get those first downs? I'm not saying they have to go for 200 yards like they did last game, but when it comes, to those long third downs, or if we're trying to score quickly before the end of the quarter, we're gonna need some decent rushing to be able to get past that. And I think for me, if we can be able to contain Micah Parsons like we did TJ Watt, we know we all saw what happened during the Pittsburgh game when TJ Watt got a piece of him, right?
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. So I think the biggest X factor going into this is going to be our offensive line holding up. I think our defense will do its job and being able. We have so many guys who are out, but also who are dogs on our defense that will be able to really frustrate Jordan Love. Definitely watch out for Josh Jacobs as well. He's been kind of this season, but when he is consistent and when he's on fire, it can create a problem with whatever team that he's facing. So, like I said, I think our biggest X factor is going to be our offensive line. We have to keep Micah Parsons, put 2-3 guys near him, whatever we got to do, and I think we'll be fine. We score a lot of points, and our offense flows great when Caleb is not pressured. Yeah, he can scramble. Yes, he can do athletic plays, but it's freezing cold. You're not at home. Play smart. Mm-hmm. This isn't a home game in September, right? Play smart.
I completely agree. I think if the Bears, turn the ball over, or if they have like a TJ Watt type of play against Caleb Williams, Lambeau is just going to be a madhouse.
That crowd's going to go crazy.
And again, you're right. You don't have the luxury of being in Chicago right now. Mm-hmm. Green Bay fans are going to let them hear it, as they should, right? Yeah. It's a great rivalry.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you. You got to play smart. I think another key for Micah Parsons, like you were saying, and I completely agree, is to run, because you do not want Micah Parsons just to pin his ears back and just be making a beeline for Caleb Williams every play.
Yep.
You want that thought in the back of his head of, they're going to run the ball, Because if you're in third and long, if you're in these down early, whatever, and you get into obvious passing situations, that's where Micah Parsons is going to kill you. He's just going to his eyes are going to be huge. He's going to be looking right at Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Do not let that happen. Keep the game on schedule. Keep it, third and short. Keep the game within reach. Completely agree. The other thing I think could affect the game plan here, I wonder if Ben Johnson pulls out some of his trick plays.
He might.
Because against the Eagles, it was very simple. It was just the Bears were just kind of running. They were running zone. They were running power, counter, mid toss, all of this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I really think that the Bears could reach into the bag of tricks a little bit against Green Bay. Maybe get some, not cheap yards, but get some yards on some creativity. Mm-hmm. I think the big matchup here is really how does the Bears defense play against Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Because Jordan Love, we've seen what we saw last week. He was 4 touchdowns. He was throwing the ball like crazy. I mean, that's the Jordan Love that scares me.
Yeah.
When Jordan Love is on, he's a really, really, really good quarterback. And I know this year I said that, and then he lost to the Browns, and then this bunch of weird stuff. You don't get that version of Jordan Love every week.
No. Yeah.
What version of Jordan Love shows up on Sunday? Is it the one that showed up on Thanksgiving? Bears might be in trouble. Is it the one that was against the Browns and the Panthers? Bears have a chance.
They do.
And I think, again, like it was true with the Eagles, Bears got to get some turnovers.
They do.
They got to get the offense some extra possessions. I think Caleb's got to make some. He's going to have to make some good plays.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a tough environment, and it's going to be a ruckus crowd and everything. And I understand that, but I think this game is going to depend on which quarterback plays better.
Yeah.
In the conditions, in the freezing cold. I checked the weather. It doesn't say it's going to snow.
Yeah.
So, cold with no precipitation is better, obviously, than some snow. Mm-hmm. What quarterback plays better? Is it Caleb Williams or is it Jordan Love? And I think that's going to be the really key matchup here. I agree with you. The Packers in this game, Justin, are 5.5-point favorites. Mm-hmm. Eagles were 7, though. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Eagles were 7. This game, like I said, is in Lambeau. 2 weeks from Sunday, we will be playing in Chicago against the Packers. But, Justin, before we head out of here, got to have a score prediction. Give it to me. What you got?
In true Mike fashion, I'm picking the Bears, baby. Bear down. Sorry, Alex, I screamed in your ear. For me, I've been sold all season. I think the Eagles win really sold me well. And when you look at this team, they're every single game that they win, especially when it's against a really great opponent, I mean, it just boosts their confidence. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Lambeau Field, playing an away game, that's a dangerous environment, right? But you just went into the Super Bowl champs' home field, Black Friday. Crowd was electric probably in that first quarter before we started beating their butt. But, electric crowd, winning conditions. Lambeau's not going to be any better. I think this will be another statement one for the Bears. I think they're looking, I'm pretty sure a lot of the players see on social media about how, people are saying that, this Bears team is still a fraud and they're not going to beat Green Bay. Well, we'll prove them wrong, right? Yes, last season was a wash. We were 5-12, but hey, we did win at Lambeau the last time we were there.
That's true.
Last year.
That is true.
Or was it earlier this year? I forgot. But
no, yeah, it was last year.
Last year. So I think this will be it'll be a close one, but I think it'll be a standout game for Caleb. I think he really shows up in this game and he plays really well. And my score prediction is going to be 27 Bears, 20 Packers.
Justin, I hate to be a contrarian.
Ugh.
And listen, I felt like I've clocked this team very well throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I have a perfect prediction record, not to brag. Mm-hmm. In my best and honest opinion, I think the Bears-Packers game is going to be really good. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be tight. I think both Jordan Love and Caleb Williams come to play, and they're making plays.
Yeah.
I think this game being in Lambeau really benefits Green Bay, really a lot. Mm-hmm. And I hate to put a downer on the Bears season. And this isn't me saying they're frauds. This isn't me saying that they're, not going to go to the playoffs, win the division, whatever.
Yeah.
And, maybe I'll give a little spoiler for a couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
We're in Chicago in a couple weeks. I'll say that. I don't think the Bears win this game in Lambeau. I think it's close. I think the Bears fight to the bitter end. I think the game being in Lambeau and the Packers being, striking distance away from the NFC North.
Yeah.
We saw the way they played on Thanksgiving, and that's the Packers team that worries me.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about this episode and I was going to think about, who I was going to predict, Obviously, I wanted to see how well the Bears played. Bears played excellent. They did.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to think about how did the Packers look against the Lions, and they looked really good.
They did.
They looked really, really good. So as much as it pains me to say, I think the Packers win a close one.
Okay.
And listen, Justin, if there's a prediction all year that I'm wrong about, let it be this one.
Yeah.
Let the Bears walk into Lambeau Field and beat the Packers, please. I want the perfect record to be broken.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But I think the Bears cool off just a tad, and they lose this first game to Green Bay. I'm going to go with 24-20.
Wow.
It's close. It's close.
Wow.
But then again, you get the Browns the week after that.
You do.
And then you get a revenge game against the Packers at home the following week. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
I mean, I get it, Mike. And honestly, I'm still going to stay with my prediction of the Bears winning, but the goal is to get one against the Packers, right? And if I was a gambling man and betting my money, I would feel a little bit more secure if it was at home. Lambeau Field is tough to win. I mean, don't get me wrong, anybody can lose. Doesn't matter who's playing away and who's playing at home. But
I think you have to split with Green Bay.
You do.
You could win both. I wouldn't complain about that. You
Right.
have to split with Green Bay.
And
in my opinion, they are much more likely to take one of those games in Chicago.
Yeah.
So that's what I say. And I know we had such a good episode. We talked about the best wins since 2018, and I feel like such a Debbie Downer predicting a loss. But I'm telling you, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's part of the plan. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this to you Bears fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really killed the vibe. How about Ben Johnson taking his shirt off? How about that? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Free hot dogs for everybody at the Wiener Circle. We were thinking about this actually weeks ago. Do you still want to try to do a little something at the Wiener Circle?
We should.
Hot dog. Yeah,
we should.
Get some hot dogs.
Why not?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should
Heck yeah.
go do that. But
Definitely.
Justin, I think that does it for our episode today.
Yeah.
What a win. NFC number 1 seed. The Bears are back.
The Bears are back, man.
And yeah, let's go beat Green Bay. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong, Chicago. Go beat Green Bay. But I think that does it.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See you next week.